Certainly. Dana Syvertson,
Here.
Pete Hahn,
Here.
Ed Madden,
Present.
Seth Marcus.
Here.
I'm Jill Moskell. John Kamish and Agnes Varnarski, unfortunately, are not present, but we still have a quorum.
Okay. Do we have someone make a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes as so beautifully done by Jill,
As always, yay.
as always.
You're welcome.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so approved. Let's go on to new business. Okay, the first agenda item here is under old business is A, volunteer workdays and seed processing. This is really new business. Agnes and I have been talking about this for a couple of days now. And in light of the weather conditions this weekend and the continuing escalation of the COVID virus, her query was, and now mine is as well, I mean, it always has been, do we proceed with regular work days at this point? The city of Chicago just went on a mandatory lockdown that's provisional for the next 3 weeks. The current information is that the governor is going to put everybody on a stay-at-home order within the next 3 days. I would absolutely be devastated if we held a work day and one of our volunteers got sick and their whole family got COVID over the Thanksgiving holiday and or going forward into Christmas. So I need to know what all of you think about it. And I think what Agnes's suggestion is that we take a respite and we go back to guerrilla work days. This work day, originally she was thinking that she wanted to do it at the slough on the on the hillside side of the slough to get ready for the burn. And then she looked at the weather report and they're calling again for very, very high winds. And we've had some snags come down already. So our suggestion was if we were going to have a work day, we go back to the lake because it's safe there to have high winds and still actually get some work done. But in light of 140,000 today, another 1,400 dead today. You just got to really, I mean, we've been stellar so far. We haven't had a single incident that we know about. We've done everything correctly so far. And I would just, if we got somebody sick, I'd have a hard time with it. So,
Right.
Whatever you guys think collectively, then I think that's what we should do. So I'd like to hear from everybody what you think.
I think it's very prudent to do that. I mean, at least this first one until we kind of know what we're looking at. I do know some health officials right now here locally are saying go out only absolutely necessary. If you can work from home,
Yeah.
work from home.
Yeah.
So it would send a bad message even if nobody did. There were no negative consequences, but at this point, if anything for this very next one, and then, take a wait and see, although I'm guessing more likely it might be.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I realize, because I feel the same way about our work days. We're passionate about it and it really is uplifting, but I do feel we should be cautious. If we cancel this week, we give it 2 weeks, we see where we are in 2 weeks, and then we can take it from there. We have to be cautious. Let's not press our luck.
Jeff?
I mean, could we still come by and get seed? Because I've got the
Yeah.
processing boxes to prep. I could do that.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
not much seed left to process. Apparently
Okay.
Agnes and Seth have put a big dent into that. So there's only a few pounds left to process. But yeah, absolutely could. Seth, any comment?
No.
Comment about the workday?
No.
Peter?
No, I agree with Agnes and Jill. Ed, just give it a couple weeks, see where we're at, and wait it out.
Okay. I need to send the workday notice out tonight. So it was either going to go that we're working at the lake, or we're going to simply postpone things and go back to guerrilla warfare. So we'll go ahead and adopt that as the way to do it. Okay.
Okay.
Next item agenda is Park District Library and Public Events. Nature Speaks, as we all know, Doug is on the 19th. That's next week. Right as of this evening, he had 66 plus people signed up for it. Ed, certainly the press release is going to be hitting soon, so if it hasn't already, you can expect a boost from that. There's one more notice to go out this weekend about his talk, so I suspect that we'll have a full house for his talk. The newest addition is Chris Helzer, the prairie blog expert, and the guy, he's the director of science for Nebraska for the conservation there. He is just a terrific guy. His blog is incredible. He's an incredible photographer, and he always has something pertinent to say. He's been a big influence on any of the writings that I've done, certainly. He will be a great addition. So he has agreed to do the January speaking slot on January 28th. Our partner group at the library has decided to up the stipends that we can offer now for speakers. So that's nice. We'll be going to $200 a slot. So that's certainly some incentive that will make a bit of a difference. The spring bird walks, the dates have been set with the Park District and with Mary Lou for May 15th and May 29th of 2021. Okay.
And just a comment, Dana, I'm thinking about the stipends. I think that the library is showing their confidence in us on the quality of programs that we're bringing to the public.
It's amazing that COVID has had the impact that it's had on our programs and our ability to get speakers that we could never hope to get because of the distance they would have to travel. It would just be impractical. So with COVID, you can work from home, and that sort of works for us. So it's a blessing, and it's some silver lining in all this darkness for sure. Okay, moving on to C, the District 214 internship program and career night. We discussed that last time. They are eventually, when schools sort them out, they will be looking to us to continue that program, and to what degree and how many applicants and all the rest of that stuff, it remains to be seen. But that's about all there is to say about it. Item D under old business, Poplar Creek Prairie seed collection. We, over the course of those 2 days, netted roughly 30 pounds of Indian grass, which is almost all been processed. I think that's all the seed that's left to process is Indian grass. So that was terrific. That was a huge, huge plus. Hats off to the Poplar Creek stewards, and thank them. They're wonderful people. Any questions about any new business? I mean, old business?
Mm-mm.
This really isn't a question, but before we move on to new business, I did want to just give a a big shout out and a thank you to the city of Prospect Heights for the very prominent front page article on the Pollinator Park in the fall newsletter. Peter, I assume you had something to do with that, or either way, we're very deeply appreciative of it. It was very nice, and it speaks volumes to the level of support we've gotten from the city that we're deeply grateful for. And I just wanted to express that.
I'll pass on the comments to everybody here, especially Joe.
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. I second that 100%. It's been amazing, the transformation of the attitude towards the project over on the lake. The residents around the lake are just ecstatic. They're happy. They're asking for magnets. They're asking about work days. I mean, it's been a complete about face. So it's welcome, and it's just really lovely to work over there. So. Okay, so speaking about the lake, seed purchases under new business, A1. Agnes wanted to ask approval to purchase seed. She's looking to buy a little blue stem to go in over there. She's looking to buy an assortment of other seeds that we don't have. She expects that the little blue stem is going to be somewhere around $220, and the rest of the seed would bring the total up to $300. So she's asking all the commissioners if they'll approve a $300 seed expenditure for the lake. So I don't know if we need to vote on that or just everybody weigh in on it.
How are we paying for it?
Comes out of the budget.
Because I thought we had zero on the budget.
No. This is a grant budget.
Oh, that's with the pollinator. Oh, yeah, I'm cool with it. It sounds like a reasonable price for what we'll receive too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Dana, I would recommend that you do a roll call vote, just because you're spending money. Just
Okay. All right, thanks, Peter. So Jill, you want to do it?
Certainly. We'll take a roll call vote on the purchase of seed for the Pollinator Park, total about $300. Dana Syvertson, please.
Yes.
Pete Hahn,
Yes.
Ed Madden,
Yes.
Seth Marcus,
Yes.
and I'm here too. I say yes, and we have a majority saying yes. We may proceed.
Okay, good. Agnes will fill out a purchase order with John and Peter and go ahead and process that then. She's looking to put that seed down before the snow falls or shortly thereafter. So signage, we've had several conversations with residents around there, and that's probably one of the biggest things they're the most excited about is what kind of signage is going to go in there. Their suggestions have ranged from talking about plants, what kind of plants are going there, talking about the restoration process, identifying the birds that seem to be local residents there all the time, which would be the cormorants, talking about the threatened species like the black-crowned night heron that's in and out, occasional visits from the eagles, so something along the lines of the birds. And the other suggestions were to have signs that could be adjusted in terms of the seasons. So much like we did over at Marava, what's blooming today, and that sort of thing, or talk about bird migrations, whatever the case may be. So that's sort of what we're thinking about in terms of signage. If anybody's got any great ideas for that, pass them on. It's time to probably start formalizing some of those things in terms of design and getting pricing and all the rest of that stuff. Any questions about anything going on at the lake? The last work day, I must say, was really terrific. We managed to clear out just a ton of buckthorn. It was very well attended. It was a very productive work day. And I'd say we probably have about another 100 yards left on that hillside or Hillcrest Drive to clear out. That was what we were going to do tomorrow until we decided it was probably not a good idea. That would certainly be something that could be attacked on a guerrilla basis. We just had people, cut stuff and stack it. So I think that would be one of the alternatives here for work days.
Could we go there on our own?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Would that be
saying.
permissible?
Yeah, that would be the guerrilla tactic. So,
Yeah.
We would set it up just like we did last time. So if any volunteers are interested in working, they can pick up loppers. We'll put them out in front of the mailbox like last time. They can pick them up. They can drop them off. They can keep them. Whatever they want to do. If they come back, we'll sanitize them, put them back in the queue. And then when they're done working, they just simply let us know, I was at the lake for 2 hours today and I did this. So that's how we'll account for it.
Okay.
Okay, the next agenda item is fall burns. Agnes and I talked about this extensively before she passed out here and we started this meeting. We're both in agreement that absolutely we have to burn this year. We have to do it. So what she's looking at and what Stantec is looking at for the ComEd Prairie is Wednesday the 16th. So that's this next week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Wednesday the 18th, or anytime during the week of the 16th, but Wednesday the 18th works best for her. So she's asking for everyone who's burn certified to let us know if you're available, so we know what to do. We could also do, smaller groups that don't include Agnes on some of the smaller burns if we need to, but that's sort of her target day. Hopefully, this will not affect Stantec in burning the ComEd Prairie. I spoke with Aaron last Friday. He said their target date was the week of the 16th, but probably Wednesday the 18th as well. So he will be in touch and let us know what they think, when they think. Remember, last time around, it was the day before when the governor put a lockdown on everything and they couldn't do it. So hopefully we avoid that again this time. We really, really, really need to burn. So that's about as much as I can tell you. We have, of course, well into December to actually do any burns. But it would be nice to get them out of the way sooner rather than later so we know that we've got them. So first of all, does that affect anybody? I mean, anybody that's burn certified, do you think you might be available on the Wednesday the 18th?
I'm assuming the time we won't really know till we get closer, depending on conditions, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for my perspective, if anything's pressing at work, of course I have to do that, but I believe I can be flexible enough to still be able.
Okay. Peter, are you available?
I am available, the 18th.
All right. Seth?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay. And John, I'll follow up with later. Jill, are you around on the 18th to do spotting and PR?
I can get back to you on that.
Okay. All right. We also decided to keep the big tank in the van and the turbo rain hooked up to it this year to assist with the burns. So that will be, for instance, like at the Isaac Walton sign, we'll just go in and drench the whole sign before we burn it. And that'll be real easy. So, okay, I will let her know. And as soon as we have a decision based on weather and everything, all the other conditions, we'll get that information out to everybody. Peter Falcone will let you know as soon as possible, both on the Stantec front for the ComEd Prairie and for all the individual burns that we're going to be making. As soon as we know, we'll let you know. We'll let the police and the fire department know as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Next item up is site monitoring reports from the commissioners.
Okay, well, we received reports on all of our 7 sites, and it appears that Tully Park, wait, where are my notes? Tully Park, the Nature Preserve, and Remnant Prairie could use a workday. So something to keep in mind.
Okay.
And I have not seen Wendy to find out when she is in town so we could coordinate the Tully Park workday with doing our special thing for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try to get that information as soon as I can.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Seth, on your report there with the Remnant Prairie,
Yes.
I don't know if we conveyed this information to you or not. But when, and if we didn't, I apologize. Sarah Race from ComEd came out and looked at it with us quite a while ago. I think it was early summer. And originally, Stantec was always going to burn that in addition to burning the ComEd Prairie. And having looked at it again, she felt, and there was a guy from Stantec with us as well, they both felt that a better approach to burning the Remnant Prairie would be to come in with a brush hog and just simply wipe it clean. Their idea was, and they've done that once before, if you recall, where they came in and just, it looked like somebody licked the entire surface clean. We talked to them about doing that and suggested that if they're going to do that, that it happens in the dead of winter, when the disturbance to the soil would be less impacted because the ground would be frozen. And they've agreed to do that. So at some point in time, they'll come out and just simply lick it clean. And then it would be up to us to go out as soon after and herbicide all the stuff that has become exposed from everything being removed. So it's a 1-2 approach that I think makes a lot of sense in terms of management. So I don't know if I told you this. I just don't remember.
Okay. No, that's interesting to know.
Okay. So that's all I have to add to the reports on the sites. Anybody else?
No.
I want to actually report something on one of the sites.
Okay.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Host disabled. Can the host allow me to share my screen?
Peter, can you allow Seth to share a screen?
Patrick, can you see how to do that?
Yeah, let me see if I can do it.
Hi, Patrick.
How you doing, Dana?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Everybody okay?
Yeah, everyone's good, thank you. Hold on. Let's see.
You should be able to go right on Seth and do it.
It should, yeah, or go to privacy.
You should be able to do it now.
Okay. Great. So, I don't know why I'm not seeing it.
We're
Okay.
seeing what looks to be
A menu bar.
the menu bar from your email.
Okay, do you see a picture now?
Yeah, we do now.
Yes.
We got it. Yep.
Okay. So this is at Morava, and this is the area where the town places cuttings. To the left of the screen, down the hill would be the creek. To the right of the screen, off the screen, there'd be a little path
Mhm.
that goes to the main path. Can you see my cursor here?
Yep.
That's where, back there is where our main path is, and like over here would be the steps down.
Mhm.
So this right here is brand new. And this is a path that somebody created, and as you get closer, that's the path.
What?
And that path is right at the cliff. That's the cliff right there. And that's the creek. So that it couldn't be a worse place for a path because already it's a vulnerable cliff. And now it's even more vulnerable to erosion and collapse because it's right at the edge of the cliff here. So somebody made a path that this connects down to where, just before the steps.
Any idea when that happened or?
Nope. I mean, I took this picture maybe 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
You're over there.
Yeah, that path has kind of always been there. It's a little bit more exposed now. I use that path a lot to get down to the stepping stones. It's more visible now that you can, the vegetation has been kind of died back. But I've noticed a lot of people, children, I guess, going down that slope, Seth, to your left there, toward the stepping stones. I mean, that area is getting really worn down.
Here?
Yeah,
The stepping stones are over here.
yes, but just past the logs there, going down toward the creek. I don't know if
Well,
they're.
wait a minute, just to make sure we're on the same page here. The going down, this is the cliff right
Yeah,
here.
that's where they're going down.
No. You can't go down here. This
Well,
is
they
this-
go down there.
well, this is the steepest part of the cliff right here.
Yeah, you can, when you go out there, maybe it's just a little bit further toward the stepping stone, Seth, where children or kids are playing around in there a lot now, and you can see they've worn. I don't think they're taking their bikes, but it seems to have a slide or something going down there.
I wonder. I mean, I hear you, but I wonder if you and I are thinking of the same spot.
Yes, I know exactly. I know the area well.
Okay.
Right,
Well,
right.
this should not be here. I mean, I would say quite strongly. I mean, everyone can voice their opinion, but my personal opinion, this should be closed, blocked off, put plants in it, put a tree in it. There's no reason to have a path at the edge of a cliff. This is the worst erosion, and this just accentuates that risk for further erosion.
Yeah, it's asking for it, man.
And we have a path system through the property. The path is goes down here, goes to the steps up back around here. We have a system for getting through the property. We don't need another that is, a major.
I haven't seen this at all. I think I can make time to get over there tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yes.
I think I can get over there tomorrow and take a look at that. But I haven't seen this. This is just crazy. It's more. I mean, I don't know why all this crazy stuff happens at Morava, but it does.
Well, like Pete said, though, it sure looks like it's been there a while. Like that's
yeah.
not a fresh cutting. It's been there.
Yeah, it has been there for quite some time. It's a shortcut down to the stepping stones instead of going, the long way. It's just a quick shortcut. But it is like Seth says, it is going to create a lot of unneeded or unwanted erosion toward on that slope there. So, yeah, anything we can do to prevent that erosion. But it's getting so bad, that erosion situation there. I really don't know what to do, or I mean, it needs major work, and we can't do it. I don't think. Our
You're talking about the big bank as the creek turns and heads north.
Yes. You go out there now, Dana. You can see erosion really bad. It's more noticeable now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time to see it.
Okay. All right, I'll see if I can get over there tomorrow. Sort of disturbing. Anything else on path maintenance on work sites?
Oh, hi. Sorry, I'm late, guys. I had a late appointment.
It's okay.
Path maintenance.
Yeah.
Can we extend the path in the slough towards by your house? It's kind of sort of done, but not quite.
Yeah, there was the plan to do that, and the plan to bring the path as it goes along hillside as it goes towards the Isaac Walton sign. We started that last winter.
Yeah.
Never got around to completing it, and then we had that big snag fall across the path. So both of those areas are on the agenda.
Okay.
The seed and greenhouse, item number E. There's probably 15 pounds of seed left to process. We have all the milkweed left to process, so Agnes was going to reach out to Jim McKay and see if he could bring his milkweed gin back over and process that. She seems to think that there's not enough seed left to process, that it would require having volunteers come over and do that. So something that can just be digested internally. So that's about all there is to say. She's also, at this point, probably has 30 different species in germination trays. So they've all been set out. They're under protective wire to protect them from animals, and it's all weighted down. So well underway towards propagating for next spring. Any questions about any of that?
No.
Okay. Volunteer Appreciation Day and the Golden Moppers. The sign has been sent to be manufactured. It should be picked up sometime tomorrow, I would think. So we need to figure out a day, and hopefully, Jill, you can coordinate what might work there.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Okay. I'm not sure what item G is, comprehensive equipment list and budget of 2021. I mean, I know what budget 2021 is, and at some point we need to start thinking about it. I will point out this is our last meeting of the year, and so typically we pick up budget issues in January. So we need to start sort of thinking about that.
Right. Well, that's why I put it on the agenda, because we should have our budget prepared, what is it, by mid-February to submit it. I know that's in the minutes. We have the timeline in the minutes
Mhm.
for it.
We also have the budget to submit to the Park District. And there's been overtures from the Park District to fund a similar amount to what they did last year. So that's good news, certainly. I don't really have anything else to say about, budget for next year until we sit down and start thinking about it.
Right.
So I think.
But we should have Agnes in on the discussion too.
Mhm.
For it.
Well, I imagine it'll be similar to last year's budget, won't it? Or are there any extra?
One would think so. I mean, we're in terms of like equipment, we're still good. We managed to get a lot of maintenance done on the equipment this year that we do have. So there's not a lot that needs to go on there. It's really just operational supplies and then the interns. So that doesn't change a whole lot of it. Okay, moving on then, the treasurer report.
Nothing new there. We've been out of money for the last couple of months, and we're not really spending anything. So,
As a commission, we're not.
what?
As a commission, we're not.
Right. Yeah.
We have to all hang our stockings on Christmas Eve and see what Santa will bring us, huh?
Yep, something like that.
But I think that's worth mentioning out loud. I mean, if we're spending money, I think it's important to mention that so that funding organizations and agencies realize that we ran out of money, but we still need to spend and we're spending our own dollars.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And we are spending a lot of money, I suspect that it's going to look very much like it did last year. I think we probably spent $3,000-4,000 last year of our own money. It's probably going to be about the same sort of thing this year.
Yeah, because if we say we have, $0, but, we spend zero, they might think, okay, well, you can go month after month without any money. That's fine. But in fact, we can't go month after month without any money.
No, you're absolutely right, Seth, 100%. By the end of the year, we'll have the full accounting. And then I think in January, when we start to talk about budget, we'll have a solid idea of how much more we spent than we actually took in. Okay. The meeting schedule that Jill put forth for 2021.
Yes.
Everybody's.
I didn't receive any comments from anyone, so I presume you're okay with the dates. It's the typical second Thursday of the month, and I did outline Earth Day, Illinois Prairie Week, and a few holidays like 4th of July. Now I think it's on a Sunday. I don't know if any of the city events, it's too soon to know what will be in 2021. But is everyone comfortable with the dates?
We were fine with it.
All good.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Okay, moving on then. City civic meetings and NRC representation.
Okay, I have a few things to say. I have to look at my notes though. I attended the city council meeting via Zoom on October 26th. They had their standard business topics. They spoke about Prospect Heights traffic safety policy and procedures. The Chicago Executive Airport is constructing a new U.S. Customs and Border Protection building at the airport. They are also looking at a 2020 Illinois Transportation Enhancement Program grant application for Wolf Road Sidewalk Extension Project. I also listened in on the November 9th City Council meeting. The Plan Commission Zoning Board tampering coercion issue was addressed by the City Attorney, John O'Driscoll. Apparently a resident claimed that one of the zoning PZBA members said that he would be sued if he did not vote to recommend approval of the application. This has to do with the Lexington Homes Plan Development. Further investigation was done and there was no evidence, so there is no further investigation on that issue. A crime update, the 7/11 October 28th robbery and shooting investigation has been completed. I was sad to hear that the shooter was only 16 years old and he's being tried as an adult. Dorset street flooding report by Patrick Glenn, city engineer. A resident on Dorset Street was talking about the drainage area. I learned something new. The Dorset area is located between Marion and Olive Streets, just west of Schoenbeck Road, and it's known as a topographical bowl or depression area. City Public Works did go to the resident's home and cleared a drain for them, and that area does have clay tiles, which was, as we all know, is typical back when this area was first being developed. But the city staff cannot locate any easements in favor to go on personal property to assist further. But let's see here. It does not serve the greater good to upside or improve that clay tile system. Everything that drains is through a single 15-inch pipe, and that pipe goes through to the tributary that goes into the creek. They have tried to do further research and find an easement, but the current COVID situation, the Cook County Recorder's Office is not responding to requests for documents. The bottom line is the City Council did not make a decision to assist the resident with their privately owned water pipe. I have attended the Prospect Heights Park District Board of Directors meeting on October 27th. The board did meet in person. I was unaware of the location, but all resident attendance was via Zoom. A Prospect Heights Parks Foundation Board has been established. They will be the fundraising arm of the Park District to support the Park District's activities. They are undergoing a thorough search for board members. They're looking for specific skill sets, such as foundation background, marketing background for campaigns and outreach, grant writing. Wait, where am I here? They will have a presence at Park District events. The Park District is also looking at a GMRC feasibility study task force. They've already had 2 meetings in September. They are looking at what the Glenview Park District has completed as a GMRC feasibility study. So they need to contract professional services for education and development. Prospect Heights Park District has a good start with budgeting, and their next meeting is next week, Tuesday, November 17th at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Thanks, Jill.
Okay. Any announcements to the public?
I just wanted to share one thing. Again, I'm going to share my slide. One of our colleagues, Ed, often brings up the idea that how can we be better at conveying how much seed we collect? Is there some way we can make it more clear to the public when we say we pick a pound of seed or whatever? And Agnes sent around a newsletter today, and in that newsletter it says, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
It says here the number of seeds per teaspoon of several native plants, and it talks about false indigo. In a teaspoon, there's 250 seeds. In a stiff gentian, there's 20,000 seeds, and in culver root, there's 60,000 seeds. So Ed, I think this sort of addresses the thing that you've brought up about when we talk about an ounce of seed or a pound of seed, we're talking about obviously a lot of seed, because in 1 teaspoon of culver's root, there's 60,000.
Yeah, I would think at some point, I mean, obviously it might be late for this season, but just so, and you may have some, but if there's any images or photos of what, say, 10 pounds of a given seed looks like in terms of volume, that helps to really add to it. But thank you, Seth. That was really helpful.
Sorry, hold on. Okay. All right, if there's no other announcements to the public, we get visitor comments. So, Peter or Patrick?
None.
Okay.
Really?
We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.